Friday night. You said you heard an interesting podcast, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it myself. So why don't you fill us all in on what this good listen is?
Yeah, Michael Franzese, legendary boss in the, I think he was a capo. He might have been higher in the Colombo family. Um, has a really good podcast in general. He does a really nice job on it. But obviously when the news came out, people were hitting him up left and right about it. So he went on and did like about a 30-minute show and broke down the whole article. And it's I don't know that you're going to learn anything you didn't already know, but if you listen to like it from the position of the mobster, right?
And
It's
what's that? Like, what's his angle?
so his angle is, and keep in mind, he's been somehow, I don't really understand how this all works, but he's been free of the mob for 30 years. Most people don't get to retire, right? Like he got went to jail, he came out. So one of his stories is that he was basically recruited when he had 6 months left on his sentence to work with these leagues to try to help people understand the dangers in this. But his angle was like, look, with kind of what we said, with the access that everybody has now, it's going to get worse and worse. He basically said it's not a gambling problem, it's a competitive problem. These athletes are extremely competitive. They're not going to be excited about winning or losing $100. They're going to bet big, just like whatever $100 is to us. That's what they're going to bet. And it's a losing track. And he had a couple where he didn't name any names, but he spoke about back in the day when he was still active. Some NFL players that they would have in their pocket, ways they would make it happen. One thing was some bookie would come to him and say, "This guy's into me for 50 large." And you say, "That's fine. It's just paper. Let him get into you for 250, 300, then have him come sit down with us." And then they sit down with him, and that's how it would start. Be like, "Hey, hey, I'm going to give you a break because I like you," kind of thing. But I'm going to give you some time. He goes, and ultimately they would just go to another bookie who I also knew, because if you were a bookie on the street putting up that kind of money, you were backed by somebody, right?
Right.
So we know about that. So they get into them. Then we bring them back in and say, "Hey, look, I'm going to cut you a break, good because I like you, because you're going to pay, right?" So the next game, you're going to put the ball on the ground the first 3 times you touch it, right? Or hey, you're going to foul out of this. You're going to foul out of this NBA game. You're going to. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to pay us. And if you don't pay us, you don't want to. We don't want to go there, right?
Right.
Basically, right? And so he said that. He also made a point that he's spoken to almost 300 universities, and at the end of it, he said,